Hello guys and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to talk about YEEZY or YZY, whatever you name it. So this is a trending coin today on coingecko, so I thought that I should make a video about it. I don't know whether it should be called YEEZY or YZY, I don't know. Whatever you name it, let's call it YEEZY. YZY would be much better, I guess. Let's call it YZY rather than easy. So let's go into the details of this project. I think this project is a newly launched cryptocurrency project, and as you can see from the chart that I think it has just launched. I think it's just listed on CoinGecko a few hours ago, maybe a couple of hours ago, and the ranking right now, according to the market cap, is 372. So the market cap is nearly $137 million. Fully diluted valuation is $1 million. So it's a pretty big number. And the total supply and circulating supply are a billion coins and 129 million coins. So you can say that the project is probably handled by the team rather than a community, because when the community is handling the project, then circulating supply and total supply are generally the same. So here I guess the team is probably taking care of the project. I'm not sure about it, but it is the possibility after seeing the difference between the circulating supply and the total supply. So now this is the website of YZY Money. So YZY Money is a concept to put you in control, free from centralized authority. Now a lot of cryptocurrency projects also turn out to be a scam when they do not have legitimate information on that website. So I'm not sure, because this website doesn't contain much information. Of course they have pretty solid Twitter followers and all that stuff. I mean, they have nearly 20k Twitter followers and stuff like that. The market cap is also pretty big, but whatever. But if it is an exit scam, then none of the things which I say in this video applies. It applies only if the project is genuine. So now let's see what is YZY Money, and then after understanding what this project is all about, we'll also discuss about the importance of the community and how the community can make or break the project. So it will also help you understand how this project how one can analyze this project. Now let's move forward. What is YZY Money? YZY Money is a concept for new financial system built on crypto rails. What is YPay? YPay is a crypto payments processor that removes the high fees that merchants are accustomed to, accepting credit card and crypto. What is YZY card? YZY card is a tool for spending YZY and USDC globally. So basically, these are the products. They have this crypto card and crypto payment gateway. I think these are their main products, and these are the further details about the vesting period and other token related basic information. So this project basically, as you can see, is all about a payment gateway. And now the thing is that there are many payment gateways already existing in the cryptocurrency market, and there are also many card related project in the cryptocurrency market. Metal, I think, is one of them. I think Nexo also provides cards. I think there are many cryptocurrency projects that provide. I think Wirex is one of them. Many are there, but the point is that all this valuation, because the valuation of this project is fully diluted valuation is nearly $1 billion, which is a pretty big number. So according to that, the question is, do they have that level of customer base? Or because generally the thing is that price follows the value, that is the reality. So if they do not have that level of customer base already, then this valuation is very hard to justify. So sooner or later, if this valuation is not justified, then price may go down. So again, nothing in this video is a financial advice. I am just saying it because uh, this is what happens generally in the cryptocurrency market. So there has to be a solid value backing up the token right now, not in the future, but at this moment. Otherwise, the price may go down. But apart from that, the other thing which is most important is the community. If there is no solid community behind the project, then also the project may fail. So I'll try to explain you the power of community with the help of chess, because chess is also about, basically these chess pieces generally they are working against each other, and the player who stops these all pieces from working against each other is more likely to win. Similarly, here also for projects like YZY money, you have to stop your own community pieces from working against each other. That is the toughest thing to do, because if the uh, if the sorry if the community members will work against each other, if they do not have that level of faith between each other, then it is very likely that the project will fail. So it's the same rule which applies here for the chess as well. So here, if you see, these are the moves. So all these moves are the best moves, because book moves or best moves, because it basically allows your own pieces to stop working against each other. So if you can see, this is a he is a very decent player, chess master title he has, and I was playing against him. Now after playing few opening moves, you can see what he my opponent is doing is that he's pushing this pawn here, so this bishop can come here in the future, and this pawn and this bishop, these two pieces will stop working against each other, and this also helps this pawn, so gives some support here. So basically these pieces are trying to be more in harmony with each other, and that's the reason why uh, these pieces basically they stop working against each other when you put your bishop here. The same rule applies here for projects like YZY, because if the community members will not trust each other, if they will not have faith between each other, if they do not have that level of commitment for each other, then automatically if the community fails, the project will fail. So most of the cryptocurrency projects fail because the communities fail. Communities do not take the responsibility of the project. This is the harsh reality, and the more we accept this reality, the better. Because community, for example, take example of Bitcoin has the most powerful community on the planet. I think it is the biggest financial community on the planet, and that's why it succeeded. Similarly here also, the community will have to take responsibility of the project. They will have to create utility of the project and stuff like that, because that's how the project grows. Without community, no project can grow. So for YZY also, the community is going to be the most important thing, and if the community is extremely powerful, then gradually it will be able to compete against other communities. Basically, the point is that generally projects fail because the community members work against each other. Now let's move to the game again. So here I put my knight here on the square, but instead the best move is putting the queen here, because the thing is that when I put my queen here, the thing is that these pieces, this rook and this bishop, basically working against each other. This bishop and this rook is also working against each other. So the queen can move first, and then probably bishop can move as well, and this rook will feel connected. This bishop will also come into the play. Right now all these four pieces, this rook, this queen, this bishop and this rook again, they all are working against each other because they are in the same rank. So the same rule again applies here. That's the reason why the putting knight also is a great move, because it's just about the order. But putting the queen here would be a much better option, because it would allow these pieces to connect in much more efficient and quicker way, slightly quicker way, but yes. So the same rule applies for the YZY community as well. If the YZY community members will work against each other, if they will not trust each other, if they are only here for profit rather than creating some value, then automatically the project may fail. And that's the ultimate truth. We cannot deny that truth, because the project may fail if the community members will be working against each other. If there is harmony, if there is a long-term vision, then automatically the community members will create value in the project. The thing is that whenever the value is created by the community, then the value is created in a decentralized way. So when a value is created in a decentralized way, then those projects are more likely to become successful in the long term, because it is right from the start the value is created by the community. Some projects, they fail because it is centralized. The project is driven by the team, and when the project is driven by the team of probably 8, 10, 15 people, then they are not decentralized, even though that product might create tremendous value, but it is more like a private company. And crypto is more about decentralization. So now let's move forward in the game as well. If you'll see, then the next play which my opponent play was putting bishop here. Now this is the best move, simply because now the rook and queen, they both will be connected with each other, and then probably this queen will come here and exchange this bishop with my king. At the same time, castling will be done, and this two rooks will also be connected. So I know that these are a lot of moves which I said, but basically pushing this bishop and then doing castling, so rook will come into the game, and putting the queen here, this rooks will be connected, this queen and bishop will be connected as well. So all these pieces right now which are working against each other, putting the bishop here is the first step from stopping his own pieces from working against each other, and that's what white is trying to do. He wants to stop his own pieces from working against each other. When they stop working against each other, then automatically there will be harmony between his own pieces, and when there will be harmony between his own pieces, then he will be able to utilize his own chess pieces to beat me, to win against me. So the same rule again applies here for the YZY community or Yeezy money community, because the Yeezy money community needs to focus on the long term approach. The easy money community needs to focus in the ultimate reality, which is that the only community can make or break a solid cryptocurrency project. So if this project is really solid, then community will have to show its strength. You can also go on the Telegram channel, you can go on that Discord, if there is any Discord, you can see what kind of discussions the community is doing right now. Are they talking about shilling the project, or are they simply talking about creating value by creating a solid product of payment gateways and cards? All these questions are pretty simple, which you can ask yourself. So the easy community will have to focus on the simple reality that uh, uh, can they create value for each other by creating value for the easy token, YZY token. That is the ultimate question. Now let's move forward. So here again, after putting his bishop here, I put my bishop here, and then my opponent puts his queen here, which I also mentioned earlier as well, that the queen is here, and then I'm putting my rook here because my rook can come and attack on this line, and my opponent did this long castle. So now, as you can see, all these pieces which are working against each other, which were stopping each other, are in the harmony with each other, and that's the reason why all these moves were played, because he had to stop his own pieces from working against each other. Now as the game continued, here I put my knight here, which is kind of an inaccurate move. Here simply capturing this knight was a much better move, because now the rook can be pretty much open and directly attack the king, and that's the reason why simply capturing this knight was a much better move. Because right now, if the knight comes here, or in one way or another, uh, it is not that good. But if I capture it, the rook's file is open, and I can also This bishop will also come here. Right now this bishop and queen are looking pretty dangerous, but when the bishop comes here, then at least I can buy some time to save my situation, and I can, if I capture it, basically this bishop comes here, so the queen and bishop will work against each other. This rook is also behind the queen, so this queen, bishop, this queen, rook and bishop, they all will work against each other. That's the reason why capturing this knight was the, basically it stops his own pieces. It makes his own pieces work against each other. So now my opponent will be forced to capture it, and when once he capture it, this is not that cool position. But when I played my knight here, which was the earlier move, the thing is that now I allow his own pieces to work in favor of each other rather than making them work against each other. So the same rule again applies for the YZY money. The community, if the community members will work against each other, if they will, do not trust each other, if they will not have that level of faith for each other, then they will be just like other cryptocurrency projects, because most of the cryptocurrency projects, they do not, they fail only because the community members do not trust each other. They basically do not know each other, because most of the investors are from different parts of the world, so they do not know each other. They do not, value each other's money. They do not value each other's time. So basically, what happens is that they do not stay longer in the community. Most of the cryptocurrency investors stay only to make quick money, and they want to leave after making quick money, but that generally never happens. In that scenario, nobody makes money, because nobody uh, was interested in the community centric approach. So that is what generally happens with most of the cryptocurrency projects. And unfortunately, if that happens for the easy money, then this project will also uh, lose its value gradually, if not today. Now here, nothing like this happened in the game. I and my opponent simply puts his bishop here, which is technically a mistake because he had to play this move. But anyways, I simply captured this bishop because this bishop was pretty powerful. So I captured it, and this allowed my rook to keep attacking on this line. My opponent captured it with the pawn. So the thing is again that now, while I captured it, now these two pawns, they will be working against each other. That's why this is the bad move. He should have captured it with the knight. My knight should have been captured by this knight, but now because he captured it with the pawn, it gives me slight advantage, because now this knight in some kind of emergency situation, he doesn't have a good square. This was a good square, okay. But if the knight goes here, then it would be a bad square. So capturing this with this pawn is a bad move. I mean, it's not a decent move, because now this knight cannot go on this good square, so this pawn will be working against his own knight, and this they will be basically working against each other at the same time. In the end game also, these two pawns are in the same line, so these two pawns will be working against each other. You see, these two pawns will be working against each other as well, so this is going to be very difficult in the end game for him. That's the reason why capturing my knight with this knight was a much better, uh, capturing it with this was a much better move for my opponent. But instead he captured it with the pawn. So as you can see here, again now this two pawns will be working against each other very miserably in the end game. Of course, if we go in the end game only then, and this knight doesn't have any good square now. I mean, if there is an attack on this knight, then he will have to go back here, which would be pretty bad square. This would not be an attacking square, because the knight cannot go here or cannot go here. It is unlikely to go here as well, because of some serious possible threats if he goes here. So the point is that this pawn and this knight are working against each other, and these two both pawns will also be working against each other. And at the same time, I can put my queen here and do some kind of attack if possible. Basically, this move shows us that how his own pieces can work against each other, and that's the reason why it was not the best move. Again, The same rule applies here for the easy money as well. If the community members will work against each other, if community members will do not believe in each other, then automatically the community will collapse sooner or later. If they have harmony, if they have peace, then automatically the project will also find some sort of growth. But first of all these things which I say only applies if this is not an exit scam, because it is very difficult to identify a project, whether it is an exit scam or not. So the same rule applies again, that if it is not an exit scheme, then and still if the community members are working against each other, then project is more likely to not succeed. And generally that's what happens, unfortunately, because the community doesn't trust each other. The community members do not want to work with each other. They do not want to discuss about how they can create value for easy card, I mean YZY card or YZY pit. They do not want to talk about how they can improve the product. They do not want to talk about how they can create certain amount of value for the project. They generally talk about shilling the project, and that is like working against each other. If you are shilling the project and if you are not talking about creating the value, then the thing is that you are basically thinking about taking other community members money, because if you are simply shilling the project, then it is basically not creating any value. Okay, so it means that the price is, so you are, when you are shilling, you just simply want the price to go up, but when the price goes up, somebody is buying and you are selling, and that's how you make money, but somebody is going to lose the money, right? So it is more likely to be the case where you will be working against each other. But when you think about creating value, when you think about improving the product of easy pay or easy card, then you guys as a community members are truly taking care of each other. That kind of approach occurs when you do that. So that's how it is. Now I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, you guys enjoyed this content, and if you enjoyed this content, then you can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can also join my Telegram community. The link will be in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.